Hello everyone, my name is Art and welcome back to another video. Today I'll be taking a look at LEGO City set number 60442. This is one of 4 or 5, I guess, City Formula 1 sets for January, and then there's the additional one that was originally meant for January and pushed back to March, being the Sauber and VCAB one, but this is the F1 driver with McLaren race card as 86 pieces, and it's the same design as any of the other teams' City Formula 1 cars, except for the 4+ one, that you'll find in the larger sets from the Wave, so that being the truck, the pit stall, the actual pits themselves. They're the same car, just with a different design. All this set has printed parts. You've got one minifigure being, of course, that McLaren driver, and their race suit is meant to resemble the 2024 car. The car itself, I guess not as much because it's very orange. But the box looks great. You've got a bit of a track, almost line going throughout the side of the box, the white there with the grid pattern, Formula 1 logo, and then you've got the McLaren zooming past the finishing line, of course, to win, I guess, the Constructors' Championship, and then the plank at the bottom sparking in the back, which is a cool detail. This box is really cool. I think Lego boxes recently haven't been the coolest things. This small little box is very, very cool. I quite like it. So this one is the cheapest of any of the Formula 1 sets or Formula 1 City sets, because there is the cheaper McLaren polybag from last year. So the cheapest Formula 1 set would be that, but this one, as a full-size minifigure scale one, is your cheapest one. Here is the top-down view, which I really like this. I don't know what it is, but I really like the shape of it. Of course, you'd like those rear tires to be a little bit wider, a little bit larger, but I do like this view of it. At the front, for the front nose and front wing section, you've got a print there for the silver, black, and then the McLaren logo. The front wing is very simplified compared to what you'd see on a Speed Champions one, but I think it still looks good and captures what you'd want. The side pods on these ones are the same design throughout any of the other versions of these cars, whether that be Ferrari, Red Bull, Mercedes, Alpine, whoever it is. The side pod design is the exact same, which is different than the Speed Champions one, where you have variants in each one, which is quite nice about those, but you won't see it on this smaller scale City one. You've got the little inserts there into the tires, printed parts with the orange details on them. The rear wing flap does move, I guess, if you want some sort of DRS function to it, which I'm assuming is why they put the angled piece there, is so that you have that function. It does sort of go downwards, which I don't know. It's cool that it's there and you have that movement of it. One thing I also like is in the rear back, it's harder to see, but you have two 1x1 translucent red plates, which just add a bit of those lights at the rear of the car, which I think is quite nice. The halo design is very similar to what you'd see with the Speed Champions one, or at least the piece itself. It's very dumbed down as it's good landing right onto the car right there. The intake is quite simple as well, but the use of that little half ovaled piece or half moon piece is quite nice. Opening it up, it's very simple. The halo can just pop up like that, and then you've got your McLaren driver in the 2024 race suit. I would say, like, it's, of course, without sponsors and anything like that, it's pretty accurate to the race suit itself in the colors you would see on that one. The helmet design is different from the 2023 Speed Champions one, as it's just an orange helmet instead of the gray design. Looking into the cockpit, you've got space for your minifigure to sit, a bit of a seat, and then the steering wheel itself, which is one thing that I sort of question with these ones, is why the steering wheel piece is quite nice. It's just the Speed Champions ones for this wave and these City ones have their cars in very low gears, It's just something I just don't totally understand, is why you would print the pieces to be in second gear. I believe in the Speed Champions one, it's third gear. It just doesn't totally make sense to me that you wouldn't have it in like fifth, sixth, seventh gear, as you would, of course, in the box. These guys are racing past the finish line. Most of the race, they're pushing as hard as they can. They're not going in second gear unless you're slowing down into the corners or going into the pits. So I don't know. It's just a weird choice to me. It's very minimal. It's a very cool printed piece. Of course, this steering wheel is not as detailed as the one you'd find in the Speed Champions one, which is a correct like size steering wheel console piece, and it's very cool. It's just one thing that I noticed. The other thing with this, I think, would be the fact that the tires themselves are not a new tire piece. They have treads on them, unless these are wets or intermediates, which why would you have a car or the whole wave in wets and intermediates? The amount of races that they have in that just aren't that high throughout the whole season. You'd usually see slicks. So I don't know. You're creating a full wave of these Formula One sets. You're making all 10 teams. To me, it just makes sense to make a new tire piece, 2 new tire pieces, one for the rear, one for the front, just to make these the best thing they can possibly be. I think that's my only criticism of this set, is those tires, and that's been a criticism across multiple Formula One sets for multiple years now, starting with the 2021 Mercedes, I guess released in 2022, but based off the 2021 cars. The Mercedes or the McLaren Technic set, and yeah, like it's been a issue I think for multiple sets the last little while. This year I think has gotten better, especially with the Speed Champions ones with new printed compounds. You've got all the 3 main compounds, and then I think on the Williams, I believe the 93 or 92 Mansell Williams has slick tires, and they are different sizes. I might be wrong there. I don't know if they're different sizes on the larger Technic ones or not, but yeah, I don't know. It's just, if you're making a whole wave of these things, I don't see an issue in making a new tire piece specifically for that, especially as I'm assuming this partnership, as they announced, will last multiple years, and it won't be the first car like this that we'll get. It just makes sense to me that you'd make a new piece, but they didn't. But yeah, of course, this car itself looks a bit weird. It's so weird seeing a Formula One car without any sort of sponsorships on it. So just having that McLaren logo, I remember finishing the Ferrari as well as this McLaren. I was just like, they're cool. I really love these sets. I think they're amazing. I would definitely recommend them. They just look a little bit off to me, and that's just because you're so used to seeing these cars for 50 years now, having these sponsorships all over the cars, that it's just sort of weird. It's almost like a 2017 McLaren here before Zach Brown came in and got all the sponsorships. So yeah, I would definitely recommend this City Formula One set. I think it's very good. And yeah, of course, these are sort of a more affordable way to get this Formula One sets than the Speed Champions ones, and I also do feel these are much better for play, and of course it fits. These are 6+ sets, not the, I don't even know what Speed Champions is at this point, 10 maybe, but those are more complicated builds, better built sets, but these ones definitely feel like they're made for play, and I think they're amazing. I think they're very, very good Lego Formula One sets. I'm excited to see where this goes in the future. I hope we don't get 10 teams every single year, because I think that's a bit overkill, but I'd love to see some more of these City Formula One sets, as the first few from January and of course March I think are very, very solid. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one.